So let's explore the strings in C++. So we have already covered operators, data types, user inputs, variables, comments, and all those basics. Now let's explore what is there in C++ strings. So string is basically collection of characters or array of characters. It is surrounded by double quotes you can see here, and this is how we can declare the string. I think I have already added a string here 2 days back in the data type. So we have to include this string library in the header header section, and that after that we can use the declare string, and then we can do whatever operations. Like there are multiple operations, so we will be exploring them as well. So you can see here, so we have already declared these strings, and now let's go into few string functions. And like there are various functions, like one is concatenation and another one is append. So if we want to add two strings, like concat two strings, then we have to use this concat function, or we have to use this operator, plus operator. And if there is some white space covered by single quote or double quote, then we can just place in between two strings, so that there will be a space and it will be easy to understand. For example, you can see here, like first name is John and there is no space in here, and the other space after that are ignored by C++ compiler, GCC compiler to be specific. And then last name, same is true for last name, and which is hard to understand, hard to read, right? So we have to put some white space covered by this one, so that it will be concatenated between the two first name and last name, so that we the full name will be declarative and easy to understand. Similar to concatenation, there this plus is the concatenate operator, and there is another one, append. We can append as well. Let's try concat and append at our one. Let me copy this one, concat.cpp will be our extension, and then let me do this. Okay, so it has compiled. Now let me run and debug. Okay, John Doe, you can see here, right? So if there was no this space, then what will be the result? Both will be added, like both will be like joined. Yeah, okay, you can see here there is no space, right? So either you have to add one space, one extra space here, or you have to add a white space covered by these double quotes or single quote, right? So this is how we can make these declarations readable. So this is the concat function. I will revert the changes, and then let's see the append one. Append, the purpose of append is like similar, like we can add without overriding the existing one. For example, you can concatenate strings with append function. Let's see it. Append.cpp and add append.cpp. You can see here. Let me run it. Let me change it or some code. Okay, so this is our YouTube channel. Let me so that it will be like you can see here, right? So with the help of append, you can append the code. There are you can do different operations with append, but one of the example is like concat two strings. These are the two functions. Now let's see number in string. Please do the exercise along with me. I have done exercise up to operators, and after completing this this video, you can go through this link, and then go through the exercise, and then check your understanding. So adding numbers and string, if you if you put this addition operator in the integers or numbers, then it will be added, like there will be summation of the two numbers, like 10 and 20. If you put the plus sign or addition operator in between them, then it will be added and the result will be the sum of those two numbers. Like for example, the output here will be 30. But if you do same in the string, like string x, they will be just concatenate, like x plus y, there will be 10 20. So this will be the string output. Okay, so we have to be clear on that. Like sometimes we make mistakes in the programming language where there is no strict definition of type. Then in such cases we may make mistake, but in the programs like C++, it will not give us to add or mismatch the two different data types, so there won't be any error. It will be it will be known in compile time rather than in runtime, but in some of the programming language there will be error in the runtime, so that will create a trouble to us. But we have to be intelligent enough to determine that, we have to define types beforehand, so that we can be safe. Next thing is string length. We can find out the length of a string with the help of dot length function, or there is alias for that, that is size. We can find out the length of the string with the help of the size as well, size function as well. For example, we can length okay, string length str length dot cpp. I have made this function, and this is how we can, like this is the txt one. I will add this one length as well, so that we will be clear on this. Let me okay okay let me sorry what was the issue. Okay, string length, let me do this. Okay, sorry. I can just do this one. Okay, text size, out txt length, we have done both. The length of the txt, the length of the txt string with length function, and let me with size function. Okay, let us declare that, and then we can declare end of line with this, and let me print this. Okay, the length of length of the txt string with size function is 26, and same is true with the length function. So the size is just a alias, so you can just you can use any of them to find out the length of the string. Okay, so next thing is accessing string. We can access a string with the help of indexes. As I have been mentioning that string is the array of characters, so we can access the strings or characters in a string with the help of index, just like we access the elements of the array with the help of the indexes. It is very simple. Let me use this example, and then try it r1. Let me what wedding str access.cpp, then let me use this. Okay, so this is how we can modify the string and character in the first place of this string. 0 is the index for this word. We can let me give you example of the accessing as well. This is the modification, and this is how we can access the string. For example, let me print the word in 0th index, and in the line and equal, and in the second we are this one is the string before assignment, and then it will be overwritten by the j, and then let's see the result. So you can see here this one was the first character in the string, and the yachts is replaced by j that we have defined here. and new string is jello. Okay, this is how we operate over string. So there are other functions, we'll be exploring them. Like there are special characters, there is concatenation. uh, so no concatenation, there is user input, like how can we import multiple strings, and then how can we omit like namespace. We will be exploring them. So we already have explored the accessing strings, like finding the length of a string, concatenating or appending strings. We have already explored them. We already have seen the example of them. So now let's go through a few other things, that remaining topics in the strings in C++. So first thing is special characters. Special characters are those characters which are used to escape few, few sequences or few symbols. For example, uh, if we need some like double quotes or single quote or slashes, like they were used to represent something, they were used to break the lines, or used to insert tabs. So there is a special meaning. For example, for the double quote, that if some text are covered with the double quote, then that means the strings are the strings are the like the characters surrounded by the double quote is the string, right? And if some words or some characters or some letters are covered by the single quote, then that is character. So there is a special meaning for that. But if we want to insert them in the text, then there are certain scenarios, right? We have to insert these words or the symbols. So in order to insert them, we have to use some characters, like some sequences. For example, there is backslash. If we use backslash followed it by these symbols, like double quote or single quote or backslash itself, then it will be ignored. Like that is escape sequence. That will basically escapes the sequence. So let's see if a few example. If we insert the double quote directly, then it will break, because it it means the double quote is indeed here, so it will not recognize the strings after that. So it will create an error, like it will create a compile time error if your IDE is intelligent. Otherwise it will create it will obviously create compile time error. Although it may be directly seen in the ID, or it may be seen in the runtime, while compiling. Okay, so now let's see a few example of the escape sequence. So this is the what this one was for the quote, single quote. Let us use that as well in our example. Let me add this and a new file. The extension will be yes, escape strings. Let's see special string. What is the topic? Special characters. .cpp. Okay, this is how we get the single quote. We can basically, for example, if we have to add double quote, then we can use backslash and double quote. Okay, and if we have to cover it, I can use backslash and double quote. And double quote. Wait, okay, that's alright, right? It has been covered by this one, this double quotes. So this is how we can like we can basically use this like escape sequence. It's like that. easy. There are others like for new line we are using this like right for new lines, and for tab there is backslash t, and that is for tab. Let's see few other things like the user input, like string input. So we can easily import the single string, right? Like we can declare the variable, and we can like just use some like notations like or some instructions. Then we can use this like extraction operator, like that they are that input operator scene keyword with this operator. Then we can get the input from the keyword, and then we can just print that. But what if we insert the full insert a full name? What if we insert full name? For example, if we insert John Doe, then it will only return June, because and it in C++ the white space are considered as the line breaks, especially by the this insertion operator. So it has to be like we have to use get new line, and after that we will be able to use the like we will be able to get the full name like with white space. It basically ignores the white space. Okay, let's explore that. This one is the example. Let me create file, string input dot cpp, and then run it. I'll add awesome. Let me give the space, then we'll be able to get both. But if we're not using this one, get this one get line scene, then what will be the case? Why is it breaking? Don't oh sorry, we didn't put that line. Let me this is wrong. Let me do this. Okay, we have to use scene for input, right? We are not using scene, so let me do that and click awesome code. We only get awesome, right? So in order to get like full name with this white space, or get the multiple string, then we have to use this get line function. Okay, that is in standard function. We can use that to get string input. So that was for the getting user inputs in string format. Now let's see the omit namespace. Basically we can just use standard library, like we can without like using this namespace, standard namespace, the using standard namespace std. This is how we were using this namespace, but we can just ignore that with this std and double colon. Okay, so I have already shown that, so you can try it. If there is any problem, you can let me know. But the problem with this is the code readability and this redundancy. Like if you once declare this namespace once, then we'll be able to access standard function. But if we don't declare that above, then we have to use this keyword std and double colon every time we use all these standard functions. Okay, so be mindful of that. And but there is obviously like alternative method for using namespace. So that is all on string. We'll see what is there on map.